Hi, my name is Idris Kamoga and happy to have you always. Well, today we want to talk about something, right? Remember we introduced to you our tourism business talkback session, and this is going to be our second edition. Previously, for those that are able to remember very well, we talked about the ethics of any tour manager on how you shouldn't steal from someone's business, right? Especially our case study was tour operations. But at large, we are talking about tourism businesses. And today, we want to talk about the webmasters, the IT people. Now, someone comes, and we've had so many cases as a consultant in tourism business. Someone walks to you, you are an IT, or you walk to an IT person, right? And you say, I want to do a tourism business website, right? And the person would say, okay, cool, I want to ask you for this amount of money, because you're drawing an MOU between the web developer, call him the IT personnel, to do for you a tourism website. But you as an IT, you've gone ahead to exhibit some poor, I would call them poor ethics, that in the end you lose integrity. Why am I bringing this? Because so many people are crying. Someone comes, probably he wants to change from one web developer to the other, or probably get assisted on how he or she can grow his or her website. Guess what? You registered his website, probably you know the host, you cannot be able to submit the login details. And the big question is, why? When you do someone a website, get it from here, you don't own that website. And for you, tourism entrepreneurs that probably go and you contract these people to do you tourism business websites, take it from me, they don't own those websites. You own that website. Now, what makes you own that website? The logins. You must have access to your control panel, right? You must have logins. If someone registers the domain for you, ask him, can I have my logins? Own them. Have them at all times. If he happen to change them, call him and say, I realized I cannot log in again. Can I have my logins? Now, when a website is hosted, of course we install WordPress or any other CMS that you'd love to. What happens is WordPress logins are created. That is if you're using WordPress. Have access to that as well. But now this way of leaving everything to your IT personnel, your webmaster, regardless in-house or externally hired, it doesn't make good sense. You walk in to any other person that you'd want to grow your website, we ask you, can we have your logins? You don't have them. Even when you have them, probably someone else is managing your website, which is okay. But when we kindly ask, or when one kindly asks the webmaster that please can you provide, even in a formal way, the owner sends an email, you're so hesitant. You feel that's so sweet. Don't lose your integrity by confiscating someone's website. It is not your website, unless you're demanding balances or something like that. But many cases I've had, these people pay their webmasters to full amount. And the big question is, why would you hold on your colleagues' business website logins for no reason? So to me, it is loss of integrity, loss of trust, You know, if someone wants to change an IT personnel or webmaster personnel from one another, at Uganda Tourism Consultants, when you give us a website to do, we do it within a specific period of time and we submit it. Now, during our submission, we email you all your logins, including your social media handles. If we are the ones that opened up, if we changed any passwords, we will of course have to give you new passwords, which is different from other IT or webmaster. We've had so many clients working to us and they are all crying, I can't access my website. For what reason? You see? So we wanted to talk about it today and say it is not ethically right for an IT personnel to behave in that way, whereby you make people cry, you make them, fools, and to my colleagues that are joining the tourism industry, yes, you can have a brother doing an IT, you can have a person you hired doing IT to do you a good website, right? But I would appreciate if you find someone with a tourism knowledge about the entire thing, right? Otherwise, when you contract an IT personnel, one of the weaknesses are someone copies and pastes probably someone's website, the content. He cannot see what is wrong and what is really right, poor placement of images on the website. So literally what am I trying to say is someone who is 100% IT or professional in web development without any skills in tourism or product knowledge in as far as tourism is concerned, of course, you will have a poor website. Remember, a good website is not all about the design. Content is very important. However, usability must be taken good care of. So the point here is, for the IT, for the webmaster people, behave so well that at the end of the project, you're able to submit in an email all the logins to your client. That would be very good of them, and they'll really appreciate your services because you're doing them a good job, especially for the starters. Otherwise, so many people would love to change from probably you to another person, or probably coming to you from a previous IT, but there is usually a very huge stumbling block whereby to an extent someone says, I don't have the logins. So for the entrepreneurs, demand for these logins. Demand for them. You own them. None owns this website other than, I'll give you an example. If an IT goes missing for probably 1 year and you can't access him, do you know that you're going to lose your business? You see, and that brings us to something else in this tourism business talkback session. Remember, we talked about things that you can be able to do by yourself, right? There are things, simple things. And for you to be an entrepreneur in business, you should be able to do at least some basic web development, could be editing a page, changing something within, all that. And you should be able to pay for your host. There's no rocket science, Let a primary email be your email set within the accounts of your website so you can be able to monitor, right, and access your website at any time. You'll have an email coming to you that, please, your website is bound to expire in about 60 days and you have your Visa card. You should be able to pay this. Not every time you have to call your IT or run to your IT. You should be able to manage some of these things. Manage your social media if you can. So these are some of the things that we've been talking about if you really want to grow in the tourism business. Otherwise, when you dump everything for your staff, it doesn't work like that. Then lastly, you should be able to do an itinerary for yourself. You see? You should be able to cost that itinerary by yourself. You don't have to tell someone. Whenever you start a business and you don't have enough knowledge on how to do things right, then how are you going to supervise your staff? How are you going to find out that they are wrong? So all those will be very key, probably for starters, even those that are probably advancing in this tourism business. So I hope today's Talkback session has been a learning curve to our IT or webmaster teams and to the entrepreneurs that actually find these IT and trust them by giving them contracts to do them tourism business websites for your business. So in other words, you have full authority of that. You should have access of your website at any time, whether you want to change host, you want to move, you want to do some edit, you don't have to wait for everybody. And this is how you're going to move from one step to the other. So with those few tips that we've shared with you in our talk, I hope you'll be able to transform gradually. You'll be able to change. Otherwise, there's a lot that we'll be sharing with you within our tourism business talkback session. Probably in our third edition, we'll be talking to you about so many things that will bring closer to your doorsteps and you can learn from us. I thank you so much for following us on our social media handles. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and of course here on YouTube. And we can't wait to see you in our next video. Thank you and bye-bye.